All right, picture this. You're on tour on one of the most amazing rugby tours on earth. You're the main videographer on tour and you're heading into your final game. Throughout the whole tour, throughout the past 14 days, you've been non-stop working, you've been creating great content that has resonated with the audience, both the team and the audience back home. You've made funny and engaging organic videos, you've created hype reels, you've also created a highlight reel and a game wrap up for 3 other games while on tour. But it all comes down to this last moment. This last moment is the last game on tour, the final time to prove yourself, the final time to create one more bit of content. So, tripod in hand, you rock up to the game. What do? I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. What's up? So yes, in this video we are discussing my videography breakdown for the last game that I did on the Stockman's 2025 tour to Fiji. Arguably one of my favorite videos to create and make. So I thought I'd take you along for the process as to what I'm thinking and what I'm doing as well. I'm going to take you through the setup, so the planning phase. I'm also going to do a little sequence, what I'm thinking actually at the game, what I'm actually thinking at the game, and how I actually, what's the word? Word's not coming to me at the moment. But how I actually execute it, I think that's what I'm looking for. How I actually execute it on the game day, just a little bit of the post game, and then finally the editing stage. Without further ado, let's head on to the planning. Now, as I said before, we'd been on tour for about 14 days already, and we're heading into our last game on the tour. Already, we've created, shout out to Charlie Hoggard, 1.2 million organic reached people on Instagram, and so we want to bring more, obviously. The main focus for this particular video was to ensure that we resonated with our audience back home. Obviously, most of our supporters come from Australia. They're in Australia, watching on the tour, following on socials on how the tour actually is unfolding. I thought I would try and make this one resonate with them the most. So this game here wasn't just another highlight reel. The goal was to capture the feeling of triumph and touring mixed into one. The chaos, the culture, the camaraderie, the brotherhood, all of those things, I wanted to portray that in this video. Knowing also that I had quick turnaround, which means I had to be really proficient on game day, but then also in my planning phase to be able to know what shots to capture. I had to be proficient on that. And then also obviously in the post-production, which I'll get into a bit later. So I gave myself 24 hours from the moment the final whistle went. So for me in this video, my success looked like, obviously engagement is good, but then also handing this to a random person and being able to tell them, being able to feel something, whether that be like they wish they were there, or whether they be, oh, I want to play for that team, or like, you know, just wanting to know more about the experience of that game. And obviously getting it out on time, people being satisfied with it. So the players, the coaching staff, our Australian audience, like a lot of people, but also I wanted a bit of satisfaction as well, knowing that I created a top video with this in mind, that in mind, and everything else. Now the pre-production, so the planning of this was relatively simple. I spent the night before scrolling on TikTok while also, you know, having saved ideas before the tour even started, having saved ideas on what I wanted to do. So I knew I had certain shots. I had music from this video, for example, a certain shot from this video, from that video, and then, you know, just other elements brought from all types of videos. I had them in my head. I also had them on my notes in my phone, and then I also had some inspiration saved on Instagram. So on game day, I familiarized myself on the way to the game. I familiarized myself with what I need to get, how I can capture it, and pretty much just all action stations to go as soon as we get off that bus. So that's what my process was like. Now, speaking of arriving there, let's talk about the actual game. Rock up on game day. I know one of my first shots is to get warm-ups. So yeah, after I captured those warm-up shots, I went straight back in the sheds to prepare for the next type of shots, which was the pre-game pump-up. Shout out Hossie. Shout out Rob. I'll show the pump up video at the end of this one. It's truly one of the all-time great best pump-ups I've ever witnessed, I've ever been a part of, and it was awesome. So I'll show that at the end of the video. Other shots that I wanted to capture for this video were the boys after the warm-up, coming in, getting ready, putting on their jersey, getting ready, getting geared up, getting fired up. So that's why I came back in, pretty much just waited for the boys, did some final tinkering, ready to go. Another thing I wanted to get, which was on my hit list, was a walkout shot. So I would follow a player directly behind them from the moment they left the sheds to the moment they got to the lining up of the both teams to sing the national anthem. Once again, big check mark there. So during the game, once again, I was always referring to my phone to make sure that I check marked everything, like, you know, whether it be a certain player or a certain shot or a certain type of detail that I need to get. The start of the game, I always like to capture the kickoff at the start of the game. I actually, not something I do very often, but I actually stayed on the sideline post kickoff because we had the ball straight away, so they kicked off to us. So I stayed on the sideline to make sure I didn't miss anything, and I'm glad I did because it ended up getting some really nice shots. Just a bit of a differentiation. The gear I was rocking for my videography was the Sony FX30, which you're on right now, and then I was also using my Holy Grail 70-200. So the funny thing is, well, it's not really a funny thing, it's more so just a fact, but for some of the game I was shooting in 100 frames, which means I got my crop, I can't remember off the top of my head what it is, I think it's a 1.4 crop, which turns out to be like a 350, I think, if my math is right.
What?
That can't be right, surely not. Anyway, there'll be something on screen. Now this is obviously my go-to. I obviously also had my little monitor here, which I'm conveniently watching myself on now. A little bit of my game day videography philosophy is that I'm filming whenever we have the ball. I'm very rarely filming when we don't have the ball, but when we actually do have the ball, that's when I'm filming. So I'm often filming in clips as well, often, you know, 2-3 phases. If we have really good momentum, then I'm going to keep filming. Whereas if we're just building phases in that building phase play, then I'm going to like stop filming every 2-3 phases maybe. I don't really know why I do that. I just started doing that and it hasn't let me down. That's kind of my philosophy when I'm actually on the game filming. Something I've started to do really recently is when I get a really good clip that I know I'm going to use in the video, I'll often cover, like I'll put my whole hand over the lens just like that, so it creates a black frame. That just gives me more, that just makes my workflow faster in post-production, because when I'm scrolling through the videos I can see that, oh, there's a black frame on that one, which means, oh, it's probably very usable. One other part of the key shots that I wanted to get was crowd shots. I wanted to get individual shots, like showing emotion, showing, you know, team spirit and stuff like that. And I wanted to incorporate more of the ground and the atmosphere into this video too. Righto, my favorite phase, well, nah, actually game day is my favorite. Close second, the editing phase. Bringing it all together, mashing it all together to make one chef's kiss masterpiece, in my opinion at least. So as I mentioned before, I wanted to capture the audience, which means it wasn't just about flexing individual brilliance, like making sure that I got a whole 15-second clip of the dude bumping off 15 guys or whatever. Like, it's not about that. As cool as those clips are individually, it's just, that's not the direction I was heading for in this video. Some of those best shots, like as I said, some of those best shots only make the video for, you know, 1 to 2 seconds, but it all brings it together a lot more if it were to be just 15 seconds of straight tracking the fella that bumps off 15 guys. Like, so if we come into my editing software of choice, which is DaVinci Resolve. So as you can see here on the timeline, what my process to do after the game when I'm editing. So I was doing this, keep in mind, I was doing some of this, the culling, like picking the good clips on the bus back from the game. So I was doing this on the bus, and like we were really squished on the bus as well. Like I think I was sitting on the floor or something. It was pretty funny. I'll show a video. But yeah, like I was doing this on the actual bus, like AirPods in, laptop out, like sitting like this on my computer, like importing all the videos and stuff like that. It was pretty funny. So my process, this is the process that I was doing on the bus. I managed to get it all done. I managed to get this full process I'm about to walk through now on the bus. And that's the culling phase. So getting all the videos culled, like from the bad clips to the good clips, from the clips I'm going to use in the video to the clips I'm not going to use in the video. So I'll make cuts, which is keyboard shortcutted to Q on my screen. Create some keyboard shortcuts where it's Q and it's just a straight split. So it look a little something like this. So my second track on the timeline, so up this one here, is full with all my good clips. So once I've gone through the whole game and decided what to keep, what to not keep, obviously I'll have a huge amount of selects, which you can see right here. You can argue that there's a lot more things that I don't want to keep rather than actually keep. Now that's on purpose. If I have two of the same clips, I'm not going to keep two of the same clips. So, and you know, some of these ones here, like for example, something like this, like it's just a bit too far away. And I think we even get rid of the ball here anyway as well. So yeah, we boot it away. But yeah, once again, moments of individual emotion. We got our crowd shots, we got our brotherhood shots, fearsome coach, more individuals. Just a matter of shooting for the time, I guess you could say. But anyway, once we've got all of our selects, it's really simple what I do: copy and paste, delete the gaps, and then they're all our good selects. So you can see I shot a total of 54, 8 minutes, so 6 plus 8. Oh my god, I'm actually drawing a blank. About 16 minutes worth of actual usable good footage. Obviously, that's going to be cut down significantly because we're making a 45 to 1 minute reel, 45 second to 1 minute reel. So with that part done, that's when I've hopped off the bus. I've closed my laptop, hopped off the bus, and done all my selects, hopped off the bus. Conveniently, as soon as we get there, I've finished, which is awesome. I mean, one step done and we've just got back to the hotel, which is great. Thumbs up for Clancy. You'll notice as well, this doesn't have any color on at the moment because once again, we're working on quick turnaround times. We want it done as fast as possible. I'm not going to color grade. I'm not going to spend time color grading clips that I may not even use. And even all these ones here, I may not even use either, but it's just visually appealing to me to see my good selects color graded. So that's when I'll come in and color grade my shots. I will create nodes. So let's do a color grade of our fearsome coach. Now, before I go into this, there are thousands and thousands of ways to color grade footage on DaVinci Resolve. This is my method. By all means, it might not be the right method, but it's the method I go with because it's simple, it's easy for me to understand, and because it's simple, it's easy for me to understand and implicate and tell other people how I've done it. But then it also still grabs the same results. Like I see people making 15 million nodes, which are these things here that I'm duplicating now. Seeing people make like what looks like hundreds of them, and it just looks so complicated that everything's connecting with everything. Like, yes, I get it, but I don't need to be doing that for something this extravagant. So this is what I do. To break it down simply, easy color space transform, timeline. I was shooting in S-Cine. I will put a S-Log3 and then I go to Rec 709 to convert it, and then I go to the Rec 709A just because that works better with the LUTs that I put on. Now the LUTs. Now for my LUTs, I kind of changed it up a little bit. Not really. For this tour, I didn't change it up. I used the same LUT, so the consistency was the same. For my own personal stuff, I used something a little different. So it's just a quick drag and drop. And already that looks like that already looks, you know, very well presentable. What I will do, however, is just bump the saturation up a little bit. It's just a personal preference, but I like mine with a bit more shadow, and then bump up the highlights a bit. And then I'll come into the curve. That's too much. Bang. Bang. Kind of something a little simple like that. Colors are accurate, colors are popping, colors are looking good. And then once I've done that, and then we copy and paste the LUT onto every other photo, onto every other clip. So already it's just a bit more appealing to the eyes. Like, yes, you can see some underexposed here, some overexposed here. some just right. And now is the fun stuff, the creating, the pulling together, the intricate maneuvers and whoop-de-doo, whatever you want to say. So the video I used, so the song I used for this video was by the Kid Leroy called Nights Like These. Really resonated with me on tour, so I was more than happy to use this. Such a good song. It was in my saved Spotify for ages. I was just waiting for the right time to use it, and this was that right time. So song goes on, and then it's just a matter of, you know, referring to my inspo. So my inspo that I was referring to was an actual full long video, but I just put my own spin onto it. Like I got other inspiration. As I said, I got other inspiration from other things that I wanted to add in just to make the original video that I got the inspo from, just that bring it up just a little bit. And the intro of this was really important. The intro of this, just obviously the hook, the first 3-5 seconds, you need to capture in your audience. So what better way to do that than give context to the game, the location, the team, just everything really. So I created this little masterpiece right here. Obviously the game, obviously we have the text, Game 4, Australian Stockman vs Fiji Warriors, Pacific Paradise Tour. Gives context, gives the audience context, gives any random viewer context. And then just to mash it up with something with a little bit of spice. Been loving rises lately, love them to death, but I overuse them a little bit. Anyway, so we're just building to the game at this point. At the start of the video, we're just building to the game, so that's why the warm-up shots and the shots of the venue were important to create a bit of context. Have a look. Bam. So one continuous motion. They're all moving left to right, kind of orbiting a little bit. Then we're moving to the warm-up. So venue shots, they're all continuously orbiting. So the stationary, we're orbiting those things, those elements at the venue. And then these shots were really powerful for me. I love these shots. Now, I don't know if I should be telling you this, but it's in black and white because I messed up actually shooting it on ground. But you didn't hear that from me, so anyway. Yeah, so already that's another element of storytelling. Emotional, it's an individual, it's emotional. And in black and white, honestly, having it in black and white adds a little bit more of an emotional fling to it too. That was all well and good. And then the hyping each other up before the game, getting each other ready. And then the checklist shot, one of the checklist shots that I wanted to get was the walkout. So following someone behind and then lining up for the national anthem. What else is here? And singing the national anthem. Singing the national anthem was really important. Obviously, we're a touring team and they're welcoming us, so we sing our national anthem as they do to us as well. I managed to get a sound bite, which you'll be able to hear, which you did hear. And then lined it up perfectly with one of the boys singing. Kick off, and then this is exactly what I was talking about before, how when they kicked off to us, I just stayed on the sideline, managed to get this shot. So as good as this shot would have been being front on, it just adds a little bit of differentiation because every other shot I was actually in the in-goal for, apart from late in the second half. So, and then one of our tries, so I could have put, as I said before, I could have put in this whole try into the video, but it's not about that. Like, it's about, yes, we scored a try, it's a moment of triumph, but you'll see, like, I think there's only 4 seconds of the try in it anyway, because yes, it's cool, but we don't need the whole thing in it. And then this video is just riddled with moments of individual slow mode brilliance, like this one here, bang, this one, perfect, boom, shot I was talking about before. So it's relatively simple, obviously with all the sound and the crowd noises that I put in, the rises, the whooshes, the everything else, like it just makes, and the song itself, it just makes it into like a very watchable video. Like you'll see here, all these clips don't last, like there isn't a clip in here that goes for more than 5 seconds, I think. I think this one here actually does go for 5 seconds, but because there was multiple elements to play, it's just quick. They're all quick, sharp, to the point. convey the message onto the next. And then the post-game too. Post-game, congratulating the team, congratulating our opponents who actually got the win, but then, you know, grabbing really wholesome moments like this one here, like come on, Shrugs, Eddie, but come on, such a good wholesome moment. And then our final little bit, the presentation, and then one of my favorite endings that I've done to date is this one here. What it do? You'll notice that this timeline isn't very complicated. Obviously, you'll see all the text bubbles up here, and the adjustment layers here to make the effect of zooming in for the start. But other than that, like, they're all slow mode clips. They all have adjustment layers on them, whether it be a zoom or, you know, the radial blur. Overall, like, it's not a very complicated timeline. But yeah, anyway, I think that's it. No doubt, as soon as I'm editing this video, there will be something that I want to add, like there always is. But yeah, that wraps it up. And I'll finish on a high with this pump up. I hope it pumps you up as much as it pumps me up. So, Hossie, take it away.
We get out there, we show them the Stockman spirit. We play hard and fast, we start fast. Yeah, and we show them what we're all about. Hoss?
There is no fucking tomorrow, lads, right? There is no fucking tomorrow! No more games in this fucking granite goal! No more fucking games! Leave it all the way out there, and we gotta fucking give it to these cunts! You know what we've got? We've got the fucking dog in us! They ain't fucking done that fucking nothing! We're gonna go out there, give it to them for 80, and fucking give it to these cunts, right? If you got the fucking piss on the porch, get with the fucking puppies! If you got the fucking dog in us, let's go out there! Stocky's got 3, 1, 2, 3! Sorry!